Let us begin. My name is Ijoma Umebinyo. I am the author of Questions for Ada, published in 2015. I am also the orator of Dismantling the Culture of Silence that was given as a TEDx talk. I think I recorded this a few months ago while I was in Mexico. And I said I was going to release this, that I'm going to do it. And, for someone who wrote Start Now and Start with Fear and just do it. I didn't. And life has been happening, like it's been happening for a lot of people. But I decided to re record this because I deal with emotions as they come to me, which might be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. But I've always believed that, you have to sort of feel something and go through life, and then your lived experiences is it's the best way to give advice, to be completely honest. So although it's been a very short while since my trip, I think that this new recording of whatever this would be, you can call it a podcast of some sort, or just thoughts, is much more relevant to who I am now. I mean, we change, we evolve, right? Tomorrow I might be somebody else and think different way, and every minute we change. I wanted to talk about compassion for self and how radical that is. I say it is radical because for a lot of us, it is something that we were not taught. It is something that you have to learn. I mean, we can go a lot deeper about our wounds, the wounds we carry. I think that there's something radical when you decide to live your life through acts of compassion first for yourself. A lot of us growing up, especially in a culture like ours, being Nigerian and raised in Nigeria, we understood that punishment was something that we deserved. For sometimes it's failing a class in school or not doing as as well as we were told we should have. For some of us it came combined in so many forms. If you were privileged enough, that was probably the only reason why you were punished, is not doing well in school. But we have to understand that a lot of people live different lives. Some of you listening to me now, your own sort of punishment was severe. It was bad. I remember when I was growing up in Lagos and we lived in this apartment complex where we knew, you know everybody in your neighborhood, but you knew everybody in the building, even though they are cousins. And we lived on the third floor. And if you look downstairs, like just downstairs, there was this much smaller apartment, and this family lived there. I remember very well someone who helped them, their help, who lived with them. And I would say she was very much maltreated, very, which is very common in so many of our society, if we're being very honest. When we talk about society, I'm talking about cultures like the one I'm from, where class determines the kind of treatment that you receive, the family you're born into, if your parents were alive, if your dad is alive, if your mother is alive, so many determinants in how you're treated. So from our balcony, you could see this family living downstairs, and they had this girl that stayed with them. When I say it was brutal, it was quite bad because I remember times when the wife, the mother, she would be around and the husband would have gone to work, and just the beating. Everyone, usually the adults would have gone to work, and usually during the holidays or weekends, like Saturdays. And I just remember that form of punishment that was severe. For some people, it was bad. You hear of stories of daughters who their mother would mix ground pepper and water to make a paste and put it in God knows where. But we have stories like that. Or hear of people who come back home with bad grades and they are beaten so bad that they have wounds that would never heal. You have scars from that. Or we can go deeper into it and talk about how have certain trauma we don't speak about. You know, childhood trauma nobody talks about, and family secrets nobody says, and it's all hidden. You are a keeper of secrets. I have listened and listened to women from my culture, from my country, women with skin like mine, Nigerian, non Nigerian, Black women who tell me of the horrors that they have had to endure, survive. But I I think about how other people's punishment towards us, especially as kids, can manifest in different ways as we navigate adulthood. For a lot of people I have seen, it is that they think that punishing themselves after whatever you can describe as a mistake over and over again, and you know, and speaking darkness, I would call it darkness, into your life somehow will transform you. It will help you. It's sort of your it's sort of how you think. It's what you think you deserve because it comes from somewhere. It comes from your childhood. Now, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I am a witness to my society and I'm a witness to my own lived experience. A few years ago, I realized that certain parts of me, of my own life, certain parts were not healed. I wrote Healing Comes in Waves in 2015 for a reason. I wrote it because I was also going through my own healing. And I understood that I was writing to myself, but I understood I was also writing to people like me and unlike me, and that's important to me in my writing that sometimes, although some poems are for me, I know that they belong to the world. I realized a few years ago, as I was saying, that I wasn't being very kind to myself. I wasn't being very compassionate to myself. And this is because in a culture like ours, in a Nigerian Igbo culture, there's this idea of perfectionism. You have to be this something about how we how some people say you have to be the best of the best and you have to be good, you have to be failure is not accepted, and when you fall down, you have to stand up right away and you have to do all this, you have to do all that. It's just this rat race. And I realized that I was not kind to myself and it showed in so many different ways for myself personally, because I examine myself a lot. You have to sort of step back and examine your life, and because I go through periods of rebirth. And I realized, this is not working. What's wrong? And it was compassion. My very good friend, my one knee, my sister, Nena, she would listen without judgment. She would pick up the phone and listen without judgment. I didn't have to pretend. I could be myself. And I realized that she taught me so much about how healing is a process and how to be compassionate during our journey of healing. We heal through certain things. I'm not who I was 5 years ago. I'm not who I was 4 years ago. I'm not even who I was last year. But I believe that understanding life is a journey, a marathon, saves you. I mean this. it will save your life to be kind to yourself. It will save your life to be compassionate with yourself. Oh my God, it is so easy to fall into the trap of, oh, I'm supposed to have done this, I'm supposed to have done that. Oh my goodness, look at this. I failed. Let me tell you about life. You already know. There's nothing to teach. You already know. This is just a reminder. And I understood that even at times when I felt I was undeserving of this compassion, it was necessary for me to be compassionate radically with myself because the world can be so unkind to us. Whew. The world will make you fall down 10 times and tell you you cannot get up. Make you fall down 15 times and tell you the world will show you that it will go on without you, but you are necessary and you are needed, if not for anybody else. God damn, for yourself. For yourself. And my recording from a few months ago in Mexico was I traced the root of questions for Ada, why I wrote it. And it all comes down to something. I wanted to tell stories like mine. I also wanted to I wanted not only, I always say I'm not that interesting because if I have to write a book about myself, it would just be probably a few poems. But I've lived my entire life as this person, and I have been very fortunate to be a witness to the lives of people that I love, women I love, women I call friends, aunties, sister, mothers, grandmothers, and I wanted to write that. I don't know what the future would bring. I don't know what will happen. But I do understand the importance of radical self compassion. And I think that's it. I think that's what I wanted to talk about. I don't want to go on and on. I want to keep it very short. I just wanted to go straight to the point. Yeah, that's what my spirit is telling me to say, and that's what I said. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. And for the love of everything that is holy, be kind to yourself.